We've got like 4 days before we're leaving for the Kentucky Toyota Trail Ride, which means I've got to get the truck ready. I've got a lot to do and not a lot of time. The main things being that since the engine swap, I've got junk in here, jumper cables, but since the engine swap, all of my accessories, lights, locker, pump, subwoofer, CB, all that stuff's coming down this side because the battery used to be here. Well, now that the battery's way over there, all this stuff is not going to the right spot. So I've got to extend all this over to get my four-wheel drive going again. I've got a connector under here that's still not done from the swap that I got these waterproof connectors off Amazon for. And thanks to the Chris Fix on YouTube, we are fixing the AC ourselves. So, again, with the swap, I decided to go ahead and swap for the 3.4 AC compressor and ditch the 3.0. So we are currently refilling with 134A. I've got the adapters and all that. And I've also changed the dryer because it's been open for a little while. Took a little longer than expected, but going. I had a little issue with the connectors. My adapters that I'm using on here are not the best compatible with this pump, so for this gauge set. So it's going real slow, but it's going. Compressor's running, and we're on the second can now, and it is coming out cold. One day closer to the Kentucky ride, the Kentucky Toyota ride. So I still got some wiring to do, and we will catch up tomorrow, see if we can knock that out. Chevy 63 swap. I don't know if the video will be up in time before this one goes up, but here is the finished product. You get to cheat and see early from Low Range Off-Road. So I've got my 63 springs in here, and this is how the truck sits currently. Oh, sun is really shining. This is how it sits currently. It's a little low in the back. I have the Rough Country Off-Road lift that had 4-inch blocks in the back and then 4-inch drop brackets for the front. So this is what it looks like if you're gonna go that 4-inch Rough Country Off-Road lift and then go Chevy 63 in the rear. I could probably lower my torsion bars a little bit. I think they're a little tighter than they were factory, but I could probably lower them a little bit and get the ride height a little closer. But these 35 tires barely fit. They scrub when I flex, so don't really want to lower that anymore. And I'm eventually, very soon, I've already got the axle and everything, eventually going solid axle up front. So I don't want to mess with that too much. But for the trail rides, so that I don't scrub the backs, I picked up some cheap AutoZone lift blocks here. So just so happens the rear is exactly 2 inches low. So I'm going to put these 2-inch blocks, but that should get me back where I was. And then the last thing before this weekend is going to be bump stops. So I don't want to bend these springs. We're going to do bump stops. And also look at that brake line. I think I've got my stock brake line, but it's I think the bracket was bent down so that it would reach, but now that we're gonna have more flex, that is going to become a problem. So that's the list. That's the list of stuff that I've got to do in the next 4 days. So stay tuned and I'll keep you guys updated. Last day, I'm not ready, truck's not ready, but we're gonna send it anyways. Tomorrow morning we leave, and yesterday I did not get the blocks underneath the truck because look at how chopped up it is, because these don't have any angle on them from, you know, just their stock form or whatever. So, and I've got a little bit of vibration going down the road, and I think it's pinion angle. So what we're doing is, because they're gonna have about the same amount of lift as before, I want to put the same angle on these lift blocks as the old lift blocks, which was a 4-inch. So that's this angle. And we didn't have a mill at Matt's dad's shop, so we attempted to use a drill press with an XY table, and it did not work very well. Well, I say that. It worked pretty well, but it was chattering and bouncing all over the place, and we were both trying to hold it, and it was just was taking way too long. So I'm gonna take it over to Matt's house now, and we're gonna actually cut it on the mill and get this block lift in, and then I have to pack. We're out of time. But we're gonna make it work, because we always do. So it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't a little stressful. So that's the plan, and we'll catch back up at Matt's house when we're getting these blocks in. All right, we're at Matt's, and I'm starting to pull this apart. So we got it off. We milled this block, and we milled the other one. We realized we did it wrong because we milled the wrong side. What this does is this pushes the whole block forward rather than just tilting the axle. So we kind of screwed that up, but we don't have any time to fix it. So we're just gonna send it like this for the weekend and then deal with it later. But the next thing we're working on is we've got to cut some bump stops